Welcome back to the Chip Observer, the podcast where we decode how semiconductors are shaping our world. This episode samples insights from the Unlock the Future of Devices webinar, a TechInsights discussion with analysts Eric Smith and Ken Hyers. That full webinar is also available at TechInsights.com. Together, they explore how artificial intelligence is evolving from cloud-bound algorithms into something far more intimate, intelligence that lives inside the very chips powering our devices. And we're going to try to present it all in 10 minutes or less. Also, just so we're on the same page, AI was used to create this episode. The research, the script, and production were fully managed by an actual human being. Now, on this episode, we're zeroing in on the device that started it all, the smartphone. Once just a screen and a sensor, it's now the front line in the battle for on-device intelligence. For years, the smartphone's been the testbed for every new wave of innovation, from touchscreens to mobile broadband. Now, it's where generative AI goes mainstream, and it's happening faster than most realize.
The smartphone is where AI will prove itself first. It's the device most people carry, and it's the one that already has the silicon and scale to make AI real for billions of users.
That's Eric Smith, Director of Connected Computing Devices Research. And that's the story. The AI revolution isn't starting in data centers. It started in your pocket. Example: the new flagship phones from Qualcomm, MediaTek, and Apple aren't just faster. They're smarter. They don't just recognize faces or voices. They interpret context. Today's high-end chips, like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, the Apple's A18 Pro, and MediaTek's Dimensity 9400, each carry a neural engine capable of running small generative models directly on device. 10 billion parameters executing in real time without ever touching the cloud. It's not just a spec race, it's a design revolution.
We're already seeing smartphone OEMs racing to claim they have the first on-device Gen AI phone. But what really matters is how efficiently those NPUs can handle language and vision tasks locally.
And that's Ken Hyers, Director of Device Technologies at TechInsights. To echo his sentiment, we're talking about efficiency. That's the new frontier. AI performance isn't measured in flops anymore, but rather measured in TOPS per watt. That's tera operations per second. And that's what's reshaping how every millimeter of silicon is designed.
Qualcomm, MediaTek, and Apple are now defining the experience through silicon. That's the new front line in mobile differentiation.
Exactly. Hardware is now the experience. The chip determines how creative and how private your phone can be. It decides how fluidly your AI assistant responds, or whether your next video edit happens instantly right in your hand. Note that some of TechInsights' latest teardown data shows that neural cores are consuming up to 25% of the total SoC die area, a dramatic shift from just 3 years ago. The phone is no longer a conduit to the cloud. It is the computer.
It's not just about performance. It's about how AI enhances daily experience.
And that's the key: personalization without compromise.
Photos that retouch themselves or messages that rewrite with tone. Digital assistants that understand context without the cloud.
Imagine a camera that can sense emotion, a keyboard that predicts not just your words but your intent, or a translator app that adjusts for your tone. Generative AI built into the device itself makes these possible. Eric Smith predicts nearly every premium handset will ship with an on-device LLM capable of running locally, possibly as early as mid-2026. And some of Ken Hyers' smartphone forecast echoes the same, with 60% of premium sales will be AI-first devices. That's not a niche trend. That's the next market standard.
The smartphone is the first battlefield where AI design meets scale. What wins here will define how AI spreads to every other class of device.
And that's the bigger picture. The smartphone is where AI earns its citizenship, not as a novelty but as a necessity. What happens in your pocket today is setting the tone for every laptop, every wearable, every car for tomorrow. So let's pivot directions a little bit. From silicon to software, from camera to code. The smartphone has become the first battleground for generative AI. But as we explore how smartphones' efficiency meets experience, blurring the line between user and device, I think we also need to look to another frontier: the PC. A platform that's also being reimagined from the silicon up. For decades, the PC has been defined by a familiar architecture: CPU for logic, GPU for graphics. But now a third core has joined the family, the NPU, or the neural processing unit, optimized for running AI workloads directly on device. That changes everything from how laptops manage power to how they interpret your intent.
We're entering a phase where chip design directly determines what kind of AI experience a device can deliver. Hardware is becoming the product differentiator.
And that's the essence of the AI PC. It's not just faster, it's more responsive, more private, and increasingly independent of the cloud. And according to TechInsights' 2025 PC silicon analysis, new processors from Intel, AMD, and Qualcomm are driving the shift to on-device AI. Intel's Core Ultra chips include an NPU delivering about 45 TOPS. AMD's Ryzen AI platform uses coordinated CPU-GPU-NPU processing for similar performance. And Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite runs multimodal models efficiently on ARM-based hardware. Together, these advances mark the start of true hybrid computing, where local and cloud intelligence work in tandem.
Every major OEM is talking about on-device AI now. It's about reducing dependence on the cloud and giving users responses that feel instant and personal.
The same philosophy that reshaped the smartphone is now transforming the PC. But on laptops and desktops, the stakes are even higher. These devices handle heavier workloads, sensitive content, and creative tools, meaning users expect AI that enhances productivity without compromising privacy or performance. TechInsights' 2025 AI PC forecast notes that nearly 60% of premium laptops shipping by the end of 2026 will feature NPUs capable of on-device generative tasks like summarization, transcription, and image generation. No cloud required. This new balance between centralized and localized intelligence defines hybrid computing.
The cloud can train a model, but the device must now run it.
Exactly. Training still happens in the cloud on huge distributed clusters, but inference, the part that applies the intelligence, is moving to the edge on laptops, tablets, and workstations. The cloud updates the models, devices run them locally, and user feedback securely improves the system. It's the new handshake between personal computing and global-scale AI. Here at TechInsights, we've dubbed this the hybrid loop. And while this sounds technical, the result is deeply human. Imagine video calls that automatically enhance lighting and remove background noise in real time. Imagine note-taking apps that summarize meetings on device before the call even ends. Or creative suites that use local models to generate images, code, or sound instantly, without an internet connection. That's the tangible outcome of hybrid computing.
The next 2 years are about balance. How much AI you can run locally without blowing through your power budget. That's the key to scaling generative AI across devices.
And that balance defines the AI PC race. It's not just about performance, it's about efficiency. Battery life, thermals, and energy budgets now dictate how ambitious your on-device model can be. The teardown data here at TechInsights confirms that NPUs are delivering up to 30% energy savings for common AI tasks compared to CPU-only inference. That's not incremental, that's transformational. But the ripple effect extends beyond silicon. Operating systems are evolving too. Microsoft's Windows Copilot Plus PC program and similar initiatives from Apple and Google are rewriting user interfaces to integrate AI natively, from text prediction to contextual assistance. The result, the PC becomes a collaborator, not just a tool.
We're starting to see a migration. AI workloads that used to happen entirely in the cloud are now moving onto the device. That's where the real change begins.
And that migration marks the turning point. Hybrid computing isn't an architecture trend. It's a redefinition of ownership. When intelligence lives on the device, the user reclaims control of data, latency, and even creativity. And as these NPUs become standard, the PC is poised to become the centerpiece of the AI ecosystem, bridging the smartphone's intimacy with the cloud's power. So what does this all mean? Hybrid computing is not just the next chapter in PC evolution. It's the framework for how all devices will work together. Cloud for scale, edge for speed, device for privacy. It could really help redefine the way we compute. We'd like to thank our analysts and authors, Eric Smith and Ken Hyers, for sharing their notes and insights on these ever-evolving innovations. There wouldn't be much of an episode without it. Note, the contents discussed here today were for informational purposes only and don't reflect views or opinions of the institutions or organizations mentioned. As always, be sure to follow us, subscribe for updates, and explore more in-depth analysis directly at TechInsights.com. There, you can register to gain access to many complimentary reports and insights. If you had fun or learned anything new, do us a favor, comment, like, and share. That stuff really helps. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and stay insightful.